When I was 16 and in my junior year of high school, my day consisted of 9 periods, with fifth period being lunch followed by my astronomy class. This class was held in one of the 2 basement rooms of our large 3-story school, which had been remodeled from an old janitorial area. It was a bit creepy down there, especially when it was empty, and since there were no intercoms or loudspeakers, classes weren't often held in the basement. We affectionately called this area the chamber, as it was air-conditioned and usually offered easier classes. Plus, it had its own bathroom. That day, we had a quiz in astronomy, and I finished quickly as I found the subject easy. Bored, I texted my friend JJ, who was in the other basement class, to meet me in the bathroom. He agreed, and a few moments later, he joined me. We were joking around when JJ checked his phone and said the school was going on lockdown. We exchanged excited glances. Since our teachers hadn't noticed we'd left, we figured we could explore the school during the lockdown. As we opened the basement door to the main floor, we were surprised to find all the lights turned off. The hallways were nearly pitch black, illuminated only by the light streaming from the lobby doors. This was unusual, as the lights were typically left on during lockdowns. Feeling uneasy, we cautiously stepped into the hallway. Suddenly, JJ pointed down the hall and asked, "Who's that?" As the figure approached, we realized he wasn't a teacher, but a disheveled man. I said, "Let's go," and we hurried back to the basement. He had definitely seen us. Both classrooms had their doors shut and lights off, so we decided to hide in the bathroom. I quickly turned off the light, and we crouched in the corner stall. It was eerily quiet. Only our breathing and the occasional drip from the sink broke the silence. Then the bathroom door swung open, flooding the room with light for a moment before it closed again, plunging us back into darkness. We could hear someone approaching, breathing heavily, and panic set in. JJ whispered, "We have to crawl out through the other stalls." His voice, though quiet, pierced the silence. The heavy breathing stopped, and I felt a surge of fear. "Go, go!" I whispered urgently. We crawled under the stall partitions, racing to the other side of the bathroom, just as the person began banging on the stall doors. We bolted out of the bathroom, and as the light poured in, we saw the man from the hallway. We pounded on the door to JJ's classroom, and the teacher let us in. Breathless, we explained everything, and he immediately locked the door, mentioning a gun sticking out of the man's pocket. I hadn't seen a gun, but I didn't argue. The atmosphere in the classroom was tense. Normally, students would have laughed, but everyone was genuinely scared. Suddenly, a loud bang at the door made everyone jump, and a couple of girls screamed. We could see the man looking through the window, trying the doorknob. After a few angry bangs, he turned and walked back down the hall. We were left in that classroom for what felt like forever, only breaking the silence when the teacher asked us questions. Eventually, someone from upstairs instructed us to file out and exit the building, where we were met by police. JJ and I did our best to describe the man, and one of the officers reassured us as we were sent home. After that day, the school installed cameras and boosted security, though this incident never made the news. I can't shake the feeling that the man had sinister intentions that day. Years later, as a retired New Jersey police officer, I received one of the most disturbing calls of my career. A lockdown at a nearby middle school due to a suspicious man seen exiting a white van parked behind the school. I arrived at the scene and found the van empty, all doors locked. I made my way through a dark hallway with just my flashlight. A woman from the front office instructed me to check the boys' locker room with caution, as the man might be armed. I called for backup and proceeded to the locker room. Inside, the air was tense and filled with faint scratching noises from the lockers. Suddenly, I heard a locker door slam, sending chills down my spine. I shouted, "Police!" and heard a muffled cry for help. A boy was trapped inside a locker, bleeding from a cut on his arm. I rushed to call for backup again, only to discover that the suspicious white van had vanished. The boy's situation was critical. The man was trying to take him. Weeks later, I learned that the van had been found at a nearby 7-Eleven, and the suspect was arrested after being identified. During a solo visit to Rowan University, I stayed at a Hampton Inn in New Jersey. One night, a strange alarm blared in my room, accompanied by a bright white light and an announcement for a lockdown. Intrigued, I turned on the TV for background noise. As the alarm continued, I considered calling the front desk for information when the phone rang. It was the front desk staff, urgently instructing me to leave the room immediately. Panic surged through me as I checked the bathroom and closet, finding no one, until I noticed the closet door slightly ajar. Peering through the crack, I saw a face staring back at me. The door slid shut and I bolted out of the room. The front desk showed me security footage of a suspicious man lingering in the hall who had somehow accessed my room. The authorities apprehended him, and as he was led away in handcuffs, he looked at me knowingly. The thought that he might have been watching me for that entire hour still haunts me.